Hello, Buckeye Nation. Welcome to Buckeye Football Fangirl. My name is Lisa, and I'm the gal behind this channel. And I wanted to come at you guys with a very short reaction video. So I've been eating ice cream on some of these before. I don't have any ice cream, unfortunately, but I have a little bit of a leftover apple crisp right here that I'm going to be chowing down on. Just, oh my goodness, celebrating this victory. Guys, they did it. They finally won. And that is a huge weight off of all of our shoulders because it has just been way too long. I am so happy, just to start this off. I'm so incredibly happy. It feels like all is right in the world again. And I could not be more happy for these players. Ryan Day, especially, he has just fought through so much as a head coach. He's fought through people wanting him gone because, he couldn't win this game. And it makes me so happy to see them win, to see the way that they won, to see his humility after the game and how he answered questions about the win. I mean, the game, okay, let's back up a second. So let's talk about this game a little bit because it started out a little crazy. There were a lot of flashes of deja vu that I had in the first quarter with it not starting out how we wanted it to start out. I mean, TTUN, gets the ball to start things off. They break off a long run. They are moving the ball down the field, it feels like, with a little bit of rhythm. But thankfully, our defense stops them, holds them to just a field goal. Then, the Buckeyes get the ball. We're expecting them to be able to do something, move it down the field. And what do we get? We get a long pass that was missed, not caught. And then we get an interception from Julian Sayin. It was just like, no. What is going on? This can't be happening. This feels too much like these previous games that we've experienced the past 4 years or so, especially like last year's game. And it just felt like, okay, here we go again. Everything's going to start bouncing, opposite of how Ohio State needs it to go. I was like, starting to settle in and brace myself a little bit. And then they started to figure it out. They started to put things together. My goodness. It was really like I was so nervous during this game, and I haven't gotten nervous during really any of the games leading up to this. I was nervous at the beginning of the Texas game, but then that game, they just felt so in control the entire game. Even though the score never got out of hand, I just didn't get very nervous during that game. But this game, oh my goodness, I felt like I was going to have a heart attack. Oh, my heart was beating so fast. I was not like biting my nails, but I was just like clasping my hands just so intensely. Oh my goodness. I'm going to take a bite of this because this is good stuff. But yeah, it was, I was so nervous the first half of the game. Until we got to basically JJ's touchdown pass. Even that touchdown pass, and then they had to review it for potentially losing control of the ball as he crossed into the end zone, which then would have been a touchback. And I would have cried if that had happened. Thankfully, the call was upheld. JJ got that touchdown, his birthday touchdown. I was so excited about that too. Happy birthday, Jeremiah Smith. But I was about ready to have a heart attack, and I was feeling a little better after that because it showed that things were starting to click a little bit more for the Buckeyes. The defense was going out there and just holding it down. I was so impressed with the way that the defense played this whole entire game. Of course, TTUN got a couple field goals. However, the defense kept them out of the end zone, and that's really what we needed them to do. They played phenomenal. And then Carnell Tate, my goodness, Carnell Tate was so clutch during the first half, even the second half too, of course. But especially, it seemed like whenever we needed to get that first down to just keep that momentum on offense going, he would come up with it. And he was so clutch during that first half. We go into halftime there. I'm still extremely nervous. I feel like, okay, we get the ball back after the half. If they can go down the field, they can score one more touchdown, I'll be feeling way better. However, they did not do that, but it took a little bit. And then Julian Sayin to Carnell Tate. Oh my goodness, that was a beautiful pass, a beautiful catch. And that just lifted all the worries off of me. Maybe not all of them, because in the back of my head, there's always this, like, it's not over until it's over mentality now. but I felt so much better. I was able to breathe a little more normally. I was able to enjoy the rest of the game. This one, I was just soaking this up anyways. I was trying to catch every single play and notice everything that was happening with the plays. And oh man, it was such an incredible game. Like, the players were so into it. You could feel the emotions, you could feel the energy, you could see, the two teams interacting, in between the plays. And I mean, I was hoping that it wouldn't get pushed past the limit of any, like, there would be no nastiness there, and thankfully there wasn't. But there was that chippiness. There were a couple fouls, like personal fouls called there just because of that. But that just speaks to the intensity of the game and the emotion that these players are playing with. However, I felt the Buckeyes, just as a whole, as a group, as a team, as that brotherhood, they were able to rein it in enough. And they just, once they got going, they felt, and they looked so good. They felt so professional. They felt like that team that we had seen play all year round. We didn't lose them in this game. I know that was the most head scratching thing last year. It was like we were watching them play and we were just like, this is not the same team we saw play all year. This was the same team that we've seen play this year. They started out a little bit bumpy, but they didn't lose their cool. Julian Sayin, stayed calm, collected, and the playmakers made the plays they needed to make. The defense made the stops they needed to make, and all around, oh man, it just feels so incredibly good. Then that second half was really where they started to shine. I mean, they get into the after the Carnell touchdown, and they get the ball back, and they take that 12-minute drive or something like that, where it's run after run after run with a couple, just like very few passes thrown in there, and they just wind that clock down. They looked so dominant with that run game today. The offensive line was doing a fantastic job. All the blocking that was happening for the run game to be able to take off that the way that it did. Oh my goodness, it was beautiful. And the holes that the running backs were hitting, and then even just like, not even the holes, but then making TTUN's defensive players miss by like juking them out or switching it up. I'm sure, the snow probably helped with that a little bit, but still, it felt like that went to a whole new level today, and that was super, super exciting to see. But yeah, that third quarter, controlling the clock, eating up so much time in that drive, even though they didn't get a touchdown out of it, they still got some points. Fielding was solid with his kicks today, thank goodness, as well. We didn't have to worry about that, because that's also something that has been super nerve-wracking in the past. But all in all, my goodness, I'm just so happy. I hope you guys are too. I know these videos sometimes can attract some of the TTUN fans, especially the past 4 years. However, I hope all my fellow Buckeye fans who are out there watching this are just soaking in this victory, enjoying it, bask in it. Just savor this moment, because we know the pain, the tears that we have cried the past few years, the sting of the loss, and now to come out on the other side of that with this win, it feels so good. So enjoy this one. I know the mentality is usually on to the next, and there's a very big game coming up next week against Indiana. Also the Big Ten championship game, which also so excited that the Buckeyes are going to get to go to that now, because they took care of business today. But just enjoy this one. Hug your Buckeye friends, your Buckeye family members. Enjoy the messages that go back and forth between you guys as you just savor this victory. One more shout out to Brutus. That was amazing. Him just crossing the M out in the snow and doing the script Ohio, even though they got rid of the script Ohio. Seeing that cross out M, oh, it's the little things, guys. It's the little things that brought me so much joy as an Ohio State fan. And that's just another part of this rivalry that us Ohio State fans, we see that. We know exactly what that means. Other people, who knows, maybe they do, maybe they don't, but it's the little moments. It's the little things, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. Drop me some thoughts on the game below. I'd love to hear any comments you have about it, your favorite parts, and then any thoughts about what's next for the Buckeyes, because there's a lot ahead of us. We are getting into the most exciting time and phase of this season. And it's I have a feeling it's going to be really fun, guys. It's going to be a wild ride. So I hope to do some more of these videos, maybe some preview videos, at least reaction videos after the games. It just depends on schedule. It's been pretty crazy this year. But thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I will see you all, hopefully, before the Big Ten Championship game. OH.